All right, hi everyone, and welcome to an exclusive preview of the Fall 2019 update to Foundation. This is the one with the dairy farm and the cheese and the tavern and all kinds of good things. And this is the town that I built. And I will be stepping through the new features and showing you how I built this town step by step, mainly concentrating on all the new goodies. But there is a lot of new stuff to look at and a lot of changes that I think are going to make the game even more fun than it was before. So let's get right into it. Okay, here we are at the very beginning of the village. Early in the game, pretty much the same. There is a change to the granary. If you look at the entry points, it's been redesigned so that there's less of a problem with villagers getting stuck. I think basically you can put things closer to the edge because the entry points are here on the corners. There's two of them here, one here and one here. So I also wanted to show immigration. It's early in this game, but immigration happens every 7 days. It doesn't vary based on happiness anymore. What does vary is how many people will join the town. Your job is to keep happiness high, employment high, and residential space high. So I've got enough room to build more houses, so residential space is high. And if you look at the jobs list here, the workplace list, I have plenty of jobs available. Really, I need more villagers right now to fill all these jobs. So I could potentially get up to 4 villagers immigrating at once. It varies how many people pass by versus how many immigrate. The best you can hope for is 100%, and 4 people, at least in this preview build, at a time. If you can get lucky and get 4 people at a time every time, you can build these villages really fast early in the game. So here, 2 people were passing by, 2 decided to join your village. So I basically got the maximum from that group that's passing by. Okay, so that's that. The other thing I wanted to show was the new help menu. It contains more information that a lot of new players got stuck on. How to set up a production chain, completing delivery quests, check this box up here, toggle the resource panel, how to stockpile. This is some of that important information that was missing from the tutorial. And people could never get the berries like to show up in the granary to be able to complete the quest. The first new building unlocks once the rustic church is finished, and that is the dairy farm and the cheesemaker. Alright, the rustic church just completed, and we've unlocked lots of goodies like the cheesemaker and the bakery and the road sign and the wheat farm and the windmill and the dairy farm. And other than this unlock, which is pretty much the first unlock that gives you new stuff, and stuff is still unlocking, let's get right on building that dairy farm. I think right down in here would be a perfect spot for it. Alright, the dairy farm is complete. There it is. It works just like the sheep farm. We assign 1 person. Lewis is our dairy farmer. And let's spawn 10 cows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here they come. They do make sheep noises right now. It's a placeholder noise. I assume that they'll sound like cows by the time the game releases. But let's get a close-up view of one of these guys. Yeah, look at the cute little cows. And they behave just like real cows. They kind of just stand in their field and just chew on grass and not much more. And there's our dairy farmer. And he's going to stand there. He can't do anything until these guys grow up. And there you go. There, thanks for the view. Right, there's another one. You can hear the cowbell though. Does sheep have cowbells? Definitely need more cowbell. Alright, so after the dairy farm, we need to make some cheese out of that milk because the cheese is going to be a new food type. So let's check out the cheesemaker. Alright, the cheesemaker is complete. We can hold 2 cheesemakers. They take milk, 3 milk, and they turn it into cheese. So we'll assign Gene and Thomas. And I've already built a keep, by the way, because I needed the cash. So I'll deploy my troops right away. Thank you very much. Just 2 people here. Right? This works like the current game. Yeah, go give me some money. And hey, we got immigrants too. From the 4 people who were passing by, 3 decided to join your village. So that's another example of the wave of immigration that you can have. And yeah, I've got 50 days left. Don't worry about it. This will be fine. Everything will be fine. Anyway, here's our cows. And Gene and Thomas will get to work on the cheese. Now, in anticipation of this, You see old Antoine down there. He is manning the market. Now check out the new market screen here. Here's the general screen. The parts. He's a cheese seller. There's no cheese yet. And you can see, if you look at the resource list, there's the cheese slice, right? Both the milk and the cheese slice are new resources. And we already have one cheese. We've made our first cheese, people. Isn't that awesome? And yes, you got to move cheese to a granary in order to get it sold. So the granary transporter will pick it up from the cheese place. They'll take it to the granary, and then the market guy will go and pick it up at the granary so he can sell it. All right, the Lord Manor is just about finished, and when it finishes, I'll show you the new interface for selecting parts and what jobs they can do, which is pretty darn cool. There it is, complete. Now, how did I know it was going to complete just like that? So anyway, here's my Lord Manor, okay? And the really neat thing about this is I use multiple parts here. Let's check out the parts. So we'll open up the Lord Manor interface. This is the new monument interface, okay? And here's the parts. And you can see I've got two cores, actually. One here and one down here. You can see them. I've got one sideways and one like this. And then I use both the tower, and this used to be called the treasury, and now it's just called an extension, okay? Because I can select what they do. So for the first core, I'm going to select it as the Great Hall. Envoys will be hosted here. And so the Great Hall, what else does it say there? Multiply building part splendor by 2. So you get additional splendor if you set this as a Great Hall. And so that's plus 5 splendor. And then the towers I'm going to assign as treasuries, right? So I want all the money. And the extensions I'm going to do as treasuries, and watch the top line go up here. Okay, there, 17,500. This Great Hall, this core, this other big core, picture when you open the door and you go in, piles of money. There we go. 29,500, at least in this preview version. This baby can hold all the cash, and I'm going to need some guards. Hey, look. This is the second berry quest. I'm rolling through these. One of the cool things about these quests, which I want to show now, is instead of stopping the game. Now, we saw how the keep quests still stop the game. But instead of stopping the game, the envoy rides up on his horse, and you get a message that he wants to talk to you. And you click on him to grab the quests. All right, the envoy is on his way. And he's coming in on his horse. And he'll soon be here to give us a quest. There he is right there, carrying that little piece of paper on his horse. It's a mighty fine looking horse. Yep, he's coming around. Okay. So he's going to stop on this side. And then we'll get the notification and the quest dialogue. And we can click on him. And he wants to deliver 20 fish. Well, pal, we don't have any fish. So we're keeping it all. And sorry about that. And if we click on this, actually, we can follow him on out of town. All right, I've unlocked the tavern and I've built it. And this is what it looks like. And there are a lot of pieces here. But before I cover the pieces, here is that it goes under the labor tab. And I've unlocked the tavern. I've also unlocked something called the inn wall. Now remember, this is the preview version. Not everything's completely done. But the inn wall basically shows up under walls. And it's a wall with a top on it, like so. It kind of looks like that. Anyway, let's get rid of that. And let's take a look at the inn. There's a lot of pieces here. So, I mean, when I say a lot of pieces, there's a lot of pieces here. Look at all these pieces. The terrace, the skylight, the kitchen. Now, the skylights are these little dormers here, right? And that's what a skylight looks like. This is a roof chimney. The kitchen, I believe I put over here. Yeah, this is the kitchen. And see how the tooltips tell you what it is? This is the rock extension and a cabin and a chimney there. And this is a little shed. And I don't like where this shed is. I'm going to scoot it over there. Because I know for a fact that they're going to create a walkway here to the entrance to the inn. And this is just the coolest thing. The balcony and stuff, you can see the balcony. This is what the balcony looks like. I stuck it onto the end here, right? And the wall, this is a smaller version of that wall, but you build it in pieces. This is just individual wall pieces. So there's a whole bunch of things that you can do with this set. I forget, the gateway is one of these, and you can res up. So this is yet another arch. So if you're thinking about the inn, yeah, you can do all this with the inn. You can also combine the inn with other monuments and even more cool pieces to work with. All right, the tavern is complete, and here it is. I really like the look of that. Let's cover a few more pieces. The front is in the shadows, but I forgot a front door. They're going to be walking in right here. So let's take a look at this. Go to the parts list, and I want to explain a few things. First off, you can give each of these pieces functions. And so I could, in fact, give this the Great Hall function if I turned off the Great Hall over in the Lord Manor. So let's do that. Remember, our quest guy comes over here because I made one of these the Great Hall. So instead, let's make this yet another pile of money, 26,500. Don't tell anybody that when you see the interior of the house, gold bags everywhere. And now we can come back here and we can say, all right, this rustic core here, where's the rustic core piece? That is this piece right here, okay, is going to now be the Great Hall. So our horseman is going to come to some part of this building. We'll have to see where he shows up to get a drink and ask us to collect berries or whatever it is he's going to ask. So you can set the other rooms to either a bar or a public lounge, and you need both to sell wine, and you need to sell wine to sell food. Food just brings in extra revenue, but you have to also be selling wine to do it. So basically you need a bar and a public lounge. And you can see here that as I hovered over them, it tells you the max capacity of the tavern with both the bar and the public lounge. So that's how that's going to work. Now this was not quite done when they produced the preview version. Some of this will be fleshed out. They're teasing us with boar here. It says 1 boar and 5 berries equals a meal. But the boar has the deer symbol. And I am not sure if boars are going to be in the game or not. So with that out of the way, while we're waiting for the horseman to show up, let's go ahead and edit this. I know I want to add a door. So where are my doors? And by the way, look at the signs. I didn't show this before. And the stables. Let's do with the stables too. But let's put on, let's see, door A right there. There we go. And then how about a sign? How about the wooden sign? Does that, aha, there we go. So let's put up a signpost. Where do I want to, ooh, way up here. Way up here. And then let's put on the inn sign right up here. There we go. So that's going to be the inn sign. Yeah, wooden sign. And we had the wooden sign. So let me do yet another wooden sign, like up here. And then, what do we got, a flag? Can I put a flag on here? Yeah, a little banner. Okay, so you can see that. Anyway, I also want to give horses a place to park. And, oh, I thought I moved that. Okay. So this is a good time to point out, this is the shed, okay? So the way that you edit stuff is that you go over to the parts list and you find the shed, which is right here. All right, there's the shed, and you can hit the delete button here, the bulldozer, and it asks you, so you don't inadvertently delete stuff like you used to be able to with right-clicking. Are you sure you want to delete the shed? Yes, because it's in people's way. Okay, so now let's build the horse, the stables. I don't know which way the stables go. I think you put your horse on this side. So let's put the stables, I don't want it to snap. Let's put the stables right here, and then we have the stable fence. How does that go? I guess it kind of goes like that. There, like a trough of water or something like that. Maybe that's right. Okay. So, yeah, that's the stable, and we've got the sign that's going to be built, and we've got a doorway. And the other thing I wanted to show, but it's not ready in this version, is the bridge. So imagine that you want to build an inn, and you're going to build it in your city center, but you want it to go across the road. So they have something here called the bridge. And if we do the bridge thing here, this is pretty cool. I'll just build it out here in the field, but you can connect the inn parts with this bridge, and things can go underneath the bridge. So you can kind of just picture that like inn on both sides of the road, I think. That's cool. But it doesn't quite work yet. It doesn't snap right. I could make it look right, but I figured I'd just show it without actually using it. When you're setting up your plans, you can still right-click to remove the plans. It's only after it's built that you have to use the new way to delete parts, which is safer, so you don't inadvertently delete anything. We need 15 planks, 30 wood, and 5 textiles. So let's get going. The inn is done, and not a second too soon, because the lone horseman of the apocalypse, the envoy is on his way, and he should stop at the inn this time to give us a quest. Alright, here he comes up the hill. And sure enough, he's turning to go to the inn. Now, which way will he go? Will he go to the front or the back? Okay, there he stops right. He stops right there, with the horse head in the inn. Okay, so remember, it's not perfect, but anyway, he's trying to give us a quest, and let's see, what does he want? He wants 30 berries, and let's see what I need. I think 16, 41, 17. Let's give it to the clergy this time, and we'll have these in no time flat. But yeah, that gives you an example of how you can change the location of the hall where the envoy comes to deliver his message of questage. So it wouldn't be the valley map for me unless I had a church up on the hill and a giant bridge leading to it, which is what I have here. So what I wanted to show here was both the new bridge and bridge parts, but also the way that the game will indicate that you can't build a bridge where you want to build it because it won't work. So you can see right now the bridge doesn't have any warnings on it. Now if I shorten this bridge up like so, see this? It's like the flashing do not enter sign. This tells you this isn't going to work. They're not going to be able to cross the bridge. And that's a huge help for when you're building these bridges so that you don't build one that doesn't work. So, right, we want to be lined right up to the door there. And then now, not only does the stone bridge model itself look better, but there's a lot of cool things that you can add to the stone bridge. There's a couple of cool parts. Now there's this gate part, which I think is really neat. And let's put it up here. I'm going to put a gate right here. All right, and I'm going to put a gate right here. Okay, and then in the gate, there's the portcullis. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but basically this is the fence, right? Or the part of the gate that drops. And you carefully place these on the inside. Let's see if I can get that to snap again. There we go. You see how that's going to look? Pretty cool. So I put a small tower. Now you can see that the tower can stick to the edge, but what I did is I put this little small tower right here. And I might move that. But anyway, there's another larger tower, right? And you can see that what the bottom of it looks like, because it can sit on the side of the bridge like so. Or you can pull the bridge just right, so I guess you get a snapping point that's in the ground. Because this is on a hill, I'm just going to sit this on the side here. And you'll see that when I show the bridge later in this episode. But then there's the banners, and the banners are super cool. Look at this. It's going to hang. I'm going to hang it right in the middle, right, of each one of these here. There we go. And so you can see how the big banners are going to look there. All right, look at this bridge, would you? How cool does this bridge look? I mean, this is incredible looking with these red banners on it. And it's interesting, the church seems to be under construction again. Who rebuilds the church over and over again, right? Looks like it's getting bigger, taller maybe. But I mean, when you have a bridge this grand, you don't want to just walk on the giant bridge and end up in a puny little church, do you? You gotta have a bigger church. All right, so fast forward a little bit, and we have the monastery finished, and the vineyards finished, and the winery finished, and we're now making our own wine so that we can serve the tavern. But anyway, also the monastery, like the other monuments, has the functions that you can change. So there's no dormitories anymore. This building is called Extension, and you can set it to be the dorms. And you can see that I did that here. I set them both to be dorms. And of course, you can also set it to be the Great Hall if you want the horsemen going to the monastery instead of the tavern or the Lord Manor, then you can do that similar to the other monuments. And I think we'll see more of that in the future as you can assign various functions to the monuments. But anyway, there that is. And now let's take a look at some of the new animations. In particular, they said that there's a new animation for the bakery. And yeah, she's not beating the bread anymore. Now she's kind of rubbing the bread. What is that's what she's doing to the bread. So here's the other baker animation. Is she puts the bread in with her what would you call that? A gigantic spatula? No. Whatever it is that you deliver the bread with, I'm sure somebody knows and can put it in the comments. But right. So I wanted to show the new animations of the blacksmith. There's 2 workers and they each have separate animations. In this case, we've got the worker hammering on the anvil there. And the second worker who just showed up has the grind wheel animation there. And so he's working on the grind wheel. And while the other one's working on the anvil. So that's 2 separate workers and 2 different animations, which is pretty cool. All right, I wanted a big finish, and I thought, you know what? Horse on the bridge. This is how we finish it. So I put the wall up so he has no choice but to cross my bridge. Hopefully he won't make a mess. Anyway, I'd like to thank Polymorph Games for giving me early access to the next version of Foundation, the fall update. There he goes. There's the horse. I can't wait till we can have our own ponies, right? And anyway, let's twirl around here and take one final look at the city. I had a blast recording this. I can't wait until this goes live so everybody can have access to it. And of course, I love this map. So anytime I get a chance to play on this map, you know, it's a good thing. Any excuse anyway. But right, that is going to be it for this preview. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you later.